Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you've saved up, you've planned meticulously, really thought about everything. You're finally at the airport, passport firmly in hand, ready for your very first big trip outside your home country.
Yeah, the excitement, the anticipation.
Exactly. Every detail considered, itinerary set, packing list checked twice. You've even figured out customs. You're just brimming with excitement.
Yeah.
Right? On the cusp of something amazing. What could possibly go wrong at that point? Well, for one traveler, that dream just heartbreakingly disintegrated right there at the immigration desk.
And what's truly fascinating here, maybe fascinating isn't the right word, disturbing perhaps, is how these individual stories, you often find them shared in these raw online communities, they kind of coalesce. They reveal these patterns.
Right, it's not just one person having a bad day.
No, exactly. We're not just looking at isolated, unfortunate events. We're going to examine these accounts that shed, well, a pretty stark light on not just what happened, but why it matters. The broader picture of international travel, integrity, the personal impact.
And the national impact, too, I suppose.
Absolutely. The national impact of corruption. It's not just about one person's bad day. It's about understanding these systemic issues, how they ripple outwards, touching lives, shaping perceptions globally.
Yeah, definitely. So our deep dive today is into this really unsettling and unfortunately apparently recurrent phenomenon, instances of alleged extortion at Kotoka International Airport in Ghana, told directly by travelers.
Right, from the source.
And for this deep dive, we've got, well, quite a stack of incredibly candid first-hand accounts. Our main source is this vivid Reddit thread. It's titled, "Oh My Country, Ghana and Extortion," from the Ghana community. And there are various comments-related discussions, too.
And these aren't dry reports.
No, not at all. They are raw, emotional snapshots. They capture the shock, the frustration, the feeling of being powerless when you're caught in that kind of coercive situation. They give us this visceral understanding of what it feels like to have your travel dreams just turn into a nightmare.
It's a powerful illustration, isn't it, of how vulnerable you can become when traveling, especially in an unfamiliar place, dealing with officials who hold, well, immense power over your journey.
Yeah, unilateral power, really.
It shows how fast a routine interaction can just take a really sinister turn, transforming what should be a gateway into, well, a point of exploitation.
Okay, so let's start with the central story, the one that really kicked off this whole discussion. It was shared by a user called Giorgio1990. This person and a friend, they were setting off on their very first international trip.
Wow, first trip, that's huge.
Huge. Think about that moment, the hope, maybe years of saving, planning for this, and they did everything right, totally by the book. They got to Accra Airport super early, 4:20 a.m. for a 12:20 p.m. flight.
8 hours, more than 8 hours buffer.
Massive buffer, no chance of being late. All their documents were legit perfect order. They dotted every I, crossed every T, no stone unturned.
And that early arrival, it's actually a really critical detail, isn't it? It shows they weren't just prepared, they were trying to be like model travelers.
Totally.
They weren't rushing, not caught off guard by time, or any usual bureaucratic stuff. They'd eliminated the typical travel stress, which makes what happened next just even more stark.
Yeah, it really does.
They took every precaution, only to face this totally different kind of stress, one manufactured purely for, well, coercion. It immediately shifts the blame, right, away from the traveler straight onto the officials.
Exactly. So ample time, all documents in hand. They walk up to the immigration office, probably thinking, okay, stamps, then boarding. Simple.
The final step.
But instead of that quick, routine process,
Yeah.
the whole atmosphere just changed. They were met by immigration officers, men and women, and the demeanor, it just made it clear this wasn't going to be straightforward.
You get that feeling sometimes.
Definitely. And then the words came. Sharp, unambiguous, cutting through the airport noise. A demand for GHC 300 each. Not for any official fee, nothing published, not for a service rendered, but explicitly, chillingly, just for stamping their passports. The basic job they're paid to do.
And the leverage there, it's multifaceted, isn't it? And it's almost like surgically applied to maximize pressure.
Oh, so.
Well, first, think about the environment. The immigration desk, often kind of isolated, limited public view, maybe, it creates this controlled space for the demand.
Right, less chance of witnesses.
Exactly. Second, there's this information asymmetry. The officer knows all the rules, the procedures, the consequences, often dire consequences if you don't comply. The traveler, they're navigating an unfamiliar system, maybe jet-lagged, definitely not thinking clearly under duress.
Yeah, totally vulnerable.
And third, and this is the big one in Giorgio 1990's case, they weaponize time and consequence. The threat of missing a flight isn't just inconvenient. For many people, it's catastrophic. Thousands of dollars lost on tickets, missed connections, disrupted plans, maybe even visa issues later on.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's a deliberate exploitation of the traveler's huge financial and emotional investment, their immediate future, basically. Creates this pressure cooker where paying the bribes suddenly seems like the only way out.
So this immediate, non-negotiable demand, no reason given, just sets this coercive tone right from the start.
Absolutely. Establishes the power dynamic instantly.
And it creates this instant, undeniable power imbalance, doesn't it? So Giorgio 1990 and his friend, they're in this impossible bind. They only had limited cash, just $100 total between them.
Which wouldn't even cover the demand, presumably.
Right. And handing that over leaves them penniless in a foreign country. So their last option, and this is key, something really common in Ghana, is mobile money, Momo.
Yeah, widely used, like a digital wallet.
Exactly, often more common than cash. Instant, traceable, widely accepted. But the officers flat out refused, said they only took cash. The user even quotes himself asking, like, but now Momo is a media of payment here in GH, so why not taking Momo? Trying to reason with them.
Makes sense.
And the officer's response, just chillin'. Totally dismissive, designed to crush any hope. If you don't pay, we'll make you miss your flight. After all, where you're going is not heaven.
Wow. Not heaven. That's incredibly callous.
Isn't it? Just captures the complete disregard for their situation.
That quote is so telling. The refusal of Momo, a traceable payment method, combined with that blunt, cruel threat, it signals immediately this isn't about any legitimate fee.
Right, it's not processed.
No, it's not about finding a solution or following protocol. It's purely about creating this impossible, high-stakes choice for personal gain, untraceable cash. They were weaponizing the traveler's vulnerability, the flight timeline, leveraging it to force compliance, and dismissing the destination like that. It just underscores their cynical view of their own power.
And as this tense standoff continued, the pressure on Giorgio 1990 and his friend just ramped up massively. While they're stuck there with the officers, the airport PA system starts paging their names. Flight attendants calling them out, saying they're the last passengers, seats ready. A clear sign the flight is genuinely about to leave. Adds this terrifying urgency.
That external validation makes the officer's stance even worse, doesn't it? It's not just the travelers saying, we have a flight, the airline itself is confirming it.
Yeah, undeniably time-sensitive now.
Yet the officers remain completely unyielding. Shows this profound disregard for the airline's operations and, more importantly, for the passengers' welfare, their legitimate plans. It's like a calculated escalation of psychological warfare. They hold all the cards, even with the plane about to leave.
Exactly, and the situation just kept spiraling. Flight attendants, getting really worried, actually came to the immigration office. In person.
They came over.
Yeah, not just once, not twice, but 3 times. Each time, explaining urgently, the plane's about to take off. They have minutes left, 10 minutes at one point.
Direct intervention.
But despite these desperate pleas from airline staff, the officers just stood on their grounds not to allow us until we pay them the amount they're demanding. It's a direct quote.
Unbelievable.
And when Giorgio 1990 and his friend, totally desperate,